whatever we say here, as a startup mentor, as a peak performance mentor, as a success coach, all these titles have been given upon time to time because of the work we have been doing. But trust me, it all started with this glorious word startup. When we say startup, unicorns, I don't know, these are the buzzwords, but I come from a deep rooted system, from a family who's been an entrepreneur family since almost 4 decades. So trust me, all this difference between the real and the real word is very thin line, but we need to understand. I mean, if I go to around more than 300 colleges I've addressed. So when I go to the best of the minds across, I'm talking about all the IITs, BITS, Pilani, and I don't say, that they are the best of the minds. There's so many. Yesterday, I was in SRCC Delhi. So I was talking about them. That what is a startup? We say navigating challenges, how to have that glorious startup. And trust me, what is the startup? If I ask myself, I start a new company every 3 years. So I believe I'm a startup for the company I started upon, isn't it? Even if I'm working since almost 3 decades, but whatever companies I'm starting upon, that's a startup. That is my startup. And what is this? It is about that one idea that I wish to convert upon into action with the, prescribed team, the chosen team that I have you know and trust me, in the meanwhile, I'm not talking about any literate definition. You never know, this team, this idea is become so profitable. I'm talking about my own self and about many startups I've witnessed. It becomes so profitable that you feel that you're not just impacting the entire student community, the entire ecosystem, but much more. So many things goes by. So well, I start with sharing my own story, and with many more turnaround game changers. And in we'll, amongst them, we'll be talking about the challenges that come across. I'll talking about the manual, which is you find normally on the web, that these are the ticks which is needed to be glorious startup. But trust me, it's not like that. It's no hunky dory. There are no social free lunches in society. If you really want to be a startup, and if you really want to be that glorious one, if you really want to come in that 2% of the startup success stories, what we see in media, the names, to name a few, all. I mean, you can definitely put in the chat while I'm speaking, and then we'll be open to QA session too. All the names that we see today, I'm not saying by the Shark Tank and all that stuff, but we get elude that I want to have this turnover. I want to have an investor of this. Whatever we focus upon in startup, it all starts with how to get that funding. But it is not that. Let me tell you the real picture today and not disappoint you at all. Let me tell you the golden nuggets that I experienced and I've actually seen, many of the people all across focusing upon step by step and achieving what they want to achieve. So let's begin with this. And before that, it'll be wonderful if you can write in the chat any of your idea that you have, or probably this ongoing startup, the domain area, anything, be it IT, be it professionals, be it I mean, pharmaceuticals, any of it. You are most welcome to put in the chat, because I really want it to be interactive rather than a monologue. Trust me, time is more than money for me. And when we are spending time with each other, it is not about, um, giving the 100%. I really want this to be impactful with a lot of knowledge sharing and a lot of practical insights for the same. Yeah. So I'll appreciate to all the participants, whatever business you are in, would love to have your domain in the chat. While I move forward, let me just begin upon, we tell upon how to expand the horizons in the startup, how to grow. Okay, so wonderful. We'll definitely come to all the questions also. Side by side, I appreciate all the domains from the coming attendees. And, while we talk upon how to launch the startup, how to pitch, how to approach the investors, whom to tell the idea upon, it all matters. Trust me, it all matters. It actually matters. The idea you're sharing is with your family or with the disinterested people who will pull you back from your goal, or they are the people who are very robust society where you really want to share upon. So all this matters a lot. And then comes the legal framework, the intellectual property rights, then comes your marketing, then comes your strategies. But let's start from the beginning itself. You know, while I tell, have you tested the waters? I tell to all the startups I pitch, after 3 months, 6 months when they come that, ma'am, we're not getting upon the funding, what to do? Please help us, please recommend us. I just ask them, where have you tested the waters? I mean, where have you tried it, the prototype and all, in your family, in your friends, in your unknown community? Where? Only once you have the confidence, once you put your skin in business, your amount, your money in business, whether it's bootstrapped or whatever you start with, only then you get confidence to speak your idea in front of anyone. That's a crude reality. Unless and until you yourself are confident enough to present yourself, everything goes by, everything follows upon only with your conviction in your own thing. So, for me, let me tell you a gist upon my startup journey, a variety of them, and then I come back, to all the things that we've been discussing here. So for me, no work was too small or too big from the age of 21, coming from a family who was running educational institutions, schools, universities since almost 50 years in the capital of India, Delhi. So it was something that I saw education in deep rooted, and I wanted to do something upon which is related to it so that I might cash in the network I have, but want a legacy on my own. So started upon with launching upon life skills as a particular subject of CBSE. Why I'm telling you that? Why? Because it was there in my whatever we start upon, either you depend upon making your own network or you make your current network your net worth. That is very, very important. When you start from A level and you know that there's already someone who has invested donkey years in it, why don't we cash on to it? So always, whenever we at least decide an idea to start up, we need to look around, not just look around the market trends, need to look around who are the people in my contacts who can help me flourishing my business. That is very, very important. So that's known as ostrich marketing. I'll be coming to that. Because see, when I see all of you curious students, I don't want you to spend upon 15 years of your life thinking upon, let me have that break even, let me have that profitable business. Not at all. Why don't we, I'm not saying being a mirror image of someone, why don't we look around and, learn from our experiences of our people? Be it family, be it friends, be it colleagues, be it peers, be it the failure startup. 98%, according to statistics, of the startup are nowhere. No news about them. It's only mere 2%, which is known to be the glorious ones. So why don't we see upon which failed upon, what is currently running, the research, which is very, very important, which sometime we don't pay heed to. It is very important to research the market trends according to us, not just the market surveys, which is, commercialized and window dressed. So what I talk today is very authentic. And once you come out to this idea, to that product, be it a product or a service, it could be two things. Yeah. I'm a service provider. Somebody could be product provider. In India, they're around 58.6 GDP, which is contributed with the product industry. Yeah. So that's why I asked you the domain, because I want to give you the facts here and now, that where we are, what is the probability of the success rate and all that stuff. So that is always required to be focused. So number one, which is the thumb rule, an idea after the research. It could not be, according to science. Like, I really want you to be interactive. If you want, you can put in the group upon in the chat. Can you imagine how many thoughts come across in our mind in one day? Anyone?
I think about 40,000.
That's
More.
so new, but it is 75,000 to 80,000. But I'm very happy you to put up in thousands, because people don't realize. So, subconsciously, it is very interesting that we have around 75,000 on an average thoughts, more than that, in a day. So out of that thoughts, which thought has the capability to turn into an idea? And out of that ideas, series of ideas, we need to figure out which are the one who can be converted into action. Yeah. So first we need to filter it up for ourselves. I'm thankful to Miss Anuradha to contribute this, because at times we don't know about our own self, what is happening. What we are doing in a startup world is, he started a startup, it got success, he got funding, let me diversify into this field. Let me do little diversion and launch some similar product, it will be it. No, life is not a Xerox. You are original, you're born original, and no one can be your copy. Similarly, no one can be your product's copy. No one can deliver your services as you will do. Not at all. So you need to see upon yourself, your market trends. I mean, where you, according to your demographics, where you want to launch. Maybe you're sitting in Punjab and you want to launch a product for Canada. So to research that market before you launch it up. It's very important. You need to test the waters. You need to work as an employee in the best of the companies who are producing your domain area. It is so important to treat your business as your job. Only then your business gives you back. A very powerful statement if you've heard that. Unless and until you do your any business like completely your job, with your discipline, with your originality, authenticity, innovating, and not treating like a lala type business, as we say in Hindi. So that is very, very important. Only then it feeds you well. While we move ahead, towards the other, and definitely we converted idea into action, which is very important, your first step. And then comes your business plan, which is very, very expensive, and which is very important. Preparing the B plan, which is really, important. Why? Because nobody will go towards series of your paperwork, not at all. You need to be really thorough. If you come to the stage of, there's some voice which is coming, if you can check
Yeah,
upon.
it's mute everyone. Please mute it. I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry.
No, no, no worries. Rather, I was thinking I'm seeing all of you in perfect cabins. I really wanted to go there. So, but then I'm happy I'm able to contribute. So now on to where I was making the business plan. So idea, first of all, generating that idea out of that 75,000 thoughts. Second upon generating that successful business plan, which is very important. And of course, many of you are attending such a brilliant sessions. I'm sure many of people have attended, because all these topics I'm taking today is completely another session. You know, they are different sessions getting to the business plan and all the checklist upon. So we'll see in the deep run how we can do that. But you need to just find upon how to make it up for you. I mean, what are the triggering that strategic business planning, that how I'm able to operate, how I am, which is my team, who is my co-founder, how to select it up. These are things which are important. Even if you don't have a co-founder, if you're going alone, then also the team is very, very important. And then third, the market segment you want to cover. When I say the research, it is very important to see the market segment. I'll not say don't target the entire sea. I mean, choose a small area to start with. We cannot do that. Today is a word where it is sea of fishes all around. I am talking about fishes. Why? All the startup of fishes, there's so many. We don't know which is whale and which is dolphin. You know, trust me. So you need to be class apart to come up above the rest. The idea you've already thought, you see the Google and it's already there. Trust me. So ultimately, you need to be noble. The thumb rule is the fourth point: innovate or evaporate. Now that is a thumb rule. Otherwise, if you are in legacy of business also, 40 years, 30 years, or you are a startup or you diversify, you need to innovate every day and night, because everything changes within 24 hours, more than that. So that's a very robust word we are talking in. So we need to be very mindful in making our
In fact,
strategies, making that. Yeah,
Nancy,
I
if you
did.
allow me, it reminds me of the fact before pink cabs in Dubai they were launched.
Yeah.
So I had this idea. I thought, why not we have cabs that are run by women, and that women feel secure, this, that. And while we were just in our friends, we were discussing, we saw pink cabs being launched. So I think
Wow.
it's so important the ideas should be put in action. The moment we think about
So
them,
thankful, so thankful that you shared this real experience, because what you thought was your idea and you feel so bad it's already taken, but it is not copied. There are many people, we see, we are living, we have to accept we are living in India, which is land of billions. So if we are working, if we are successful, we are among that lucky few, you know,
true,
definitely. Only then we are able to, acknowledge, people are able to acknowledge this is our creation. So being a startup is bringing your own baby into the world. It is a very delicate feeling. So you have to do it all the heart and soul, and you have to actually launch it up, nourish it. You need to be really be mindful of each and every action that you're doing as a startup, be it selecting your team, be it selecting the market segment, your niche, be it your research, be it, I'll say, when you do research also, there's so many segments to be covered, the surveys, the questionnaires, everything helps. And I'm not saying in the beginning for the startup, every now and then. When I told you upon RevUp Life Skills, when I started and I did a questionnaire, half of the people was because life skills was not taken in a right spirit in India. They didn't knew that what is about design thinking and what is about soft skills, life skills, WHO, 21st century, Gen X skills, alpha generation. They never knew all this. All this was the buzzwords coming from Western world. So everyone was like, it is just an advice. But no, the way we learn our discipline, our subjects, that way we have to learn upon even our skills. Only then we'll be able to, exercise it. I'll request, Miss Anuradha, that you need to actually look forward to, because see, guest lecture is one thing, but there's something intrinsic motivation. I believe in that. We come for
true,
45 minutes, we tell, okay, it's good, acha lag raha hai sunne mein. But the moment we are off, we are back to pavilion. But we will be so happy when we get mails over, when we hear again to come back, when we are actually getting the doubts that how we can, help you out. That is the main thing.
true.
What we need to do is, as you said, we need to stick to idea. We need to stick upon to the 10 best people who are particular in that field. And while testing it, start meeting upon. Don't wait for that day. I'll meet everyone. I'll do all the research. I'll do all surveys. Then I will launch. But then kabhi aayega hi nahi. It never comes. So, it has to be now or never. So sometimes you have to be impulsive. You have to be real decision maker in startup world. When you're entrepreneur, it should be like the idea comes, next moment action frequency should be like this, the speed of
Yeah,
light. Only then it works. You know it well. We have all seen how we've missed opportunities if we don't act in a particular time, isn't it? So
true.
I'll say it's known as ostrich mentality, which is very much required. We need to think upon from competitors' point of view. We need to take the healthy competition, consider it very well, and take our decisions accordingly. And then as we go ahead, and we maintain our business plan and all, I feel it's very important to have these strategical decisions in life. So, what is your business strategy? How, what you're seeing from them? What is your brand strategy, how you're making the brand across? So, very much required. What are your policies? What is your creative strategy? And what's your media strategy? Very much required. In today's world, wherever you are, it hardly matters. I don't know which all places you are, but you could be multi-billionaires and launching yourself out in different demographics. I mean, I told you about my first entrepreneur venture, RevUp. Looking back, when I started upon an education industry, there was nothing, no one to be believed. There, rather, they used to tell me at the age of 21, and you are coming to be, that peak performance coach or something, which is nowhere accepted here. You need to have gray hair, spectacles, and some oldie person in your team. Only then it works in India. So these were the foolish ideas which
True.
was given startup like me. So, uh, after that, when we used to go to all these networking meets, all these seminars, all this lifelong learning, which should go on in the startup in your domain area, you meet so many people, there's so many synergies out there. And then what happens is you are already, um, meeting out, being vocal upon your ideas. And the more you are vocal upon your ideas, you're declaring out, I mean, the people who get connected to you, which is very, very important. That's how MentorX happened. So, MentorX was a game changer. I'll say is a game changer because it was EdTech startup coming from educationist, me coming from 2 decades of experience, and my co-founder, Dr. Jindal, coming from tech world, coming together to start something unconventional. And not just this, we witnessed 10x growth upon in the COVID era when we were all off out. It was just a decision which made us, completely span out 65 countries and more than that. I mean, trust me, we were in government sector, public, private, and we never knew that we could do this. When we launch an idea, it was like, okay, let's begin. And then the ways come up, the people start meeting you, the associations, very important. I hope I should not miss it. Associations, the people you're, associated with, like Punjab Angel Network, amazing. I mean, to name a few, I don't know if I can name at this platform. There's so many. There's so many. We all know upon them. Esucham and TIE. I mean, so many Startup India who are actually helping us. There's so many who doesn't know upon the subsidies which are present for the startup. There's so many who are not aware about what India is doing, what Indian government is doing for the rising startup. They don't know. So it is very important to be associated, to be member of all this glorious, associations, if not glorious, also I should say authentic ones, so that you are able to move in that circle. Bright things happen when bright people come together. It's not just a jargon. It is something which is validation. Because once you start up startup, once you're in closed door also, you do wonderful marketing. Unless and until there's a mouth of word which walks across, it doesn't move in the air. So when I say it doesn't move in the air, you need to create that bubble story among yourself, which is very, very important. It is very important so that people are curious. People are asking upon what is it. It should be like, people are asking, using the product and telling themselves, organic marketing, that this is good. A new product in the market has come up and, try upon. So very simple to understand. Business plan, whatever we discuss upon, probably advertisement, marketing ideas, everything has to be very easy to understand from customer point of view. We all go, we own schools. People come to me like to launch an app for parenting, for fee and all that stuff. ERP solutions, many more. I mean, there are thousand reasons. But trust me, what happens is the niche. If I know my schools are upon the area where the people from remote areas, they're still not comfortable with using it, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the fact, and I have to change that particular, domain, that service, that time. So we need to see what works in different market. It is not like, one size fits all. Not at all. You're a startup. If you're launching upon, I mean, if I give you an example of one, I don't want to get into it. Be it Byju's, be it Mama Earth. We all know the fancy stories also. We all know the plight behind also, I'll say. You know, what happened and how it happened. How it is important not to target the entire sea. That everything we should have, there is sun for everyone. So we can't say all opportunities are for our brand only. So, what I mean to say is you need to focus and command, be the king of that segment. And once you're a king of that segment, that work will produce more and more work for you. So you have to first command over a particular area, have that clientele who speak for you, have people speaking for you rather than you beating your own drums, you know, which is very important. Which is very, very important. So while we move from idea generation to making a business plan, like, of course, research and R&D, to testing the waters and discovering the new markets, exploring the customer potential. All this goes hand in hand with the marketing strategies. And you know how robust we are in the marketing strategies. Like, to name a few, I mean, cabs were always there, but Ola changed the entire picture completely. I mean, it depends upon us how we are able to actually market it well. In Shark Tank, there's so many who came as jury, but there were some, to name a few, who changed and cashed in their marketing because they started working on it side by side. They started leveraging their personal branding in their professional branding. And it was a game changer movement for that. Now, this is very important. Leverage your personal branding for your professional success. no matter what, wherever you are. If I launch one company's thirds, I told you about many of my initiatives. One of our venture capitalist company, Lucrate Ventures. So maybe if I'm not talking about also, they are the branches that Nancy is taking care of. Companies are a part of you. Ultimately, people should know who is Miss Anuradha, what is her credibility. They should know whatever she says will be done. Whatever she puts hand on will be gold mine. Only then they will believe her. Now you're understanding. So what 90% people think, startup, product has to be good. Product has to be good. Yes, product has to be good. But ultimately the person who's launching that product matters. Trust me.
Absolutely.
It is leveraging your personal branding. I don't know, I'm not a person who, I'm a very positive person, so I'm not one who critics, but still to make you understand. So I'm an author of 14 books. There are many authors out there,
Oh,
and I love Twinkle Khanna as a blogger. But when I read her one first book, I was completely utterly disappointed. Now, why I'm telling as a reader to you, the book will be a hit because she's already someone. Now you get it. So if Twinkle Khan is launching something, it will be a hit without testing the water. And I am to taking an effort, not effort or probably guts to speak upon on live, but still with huge respect on it. Many people won't tell you your product is, something work out to be something has to be worked with your product or it's not working upon because you already a brand. That also happens. That has happened. You know, people actually do that, whether it is service or product. Now try and understand. Gauri Khan is running amazing interiors. She's already someone, the backing is coming over. So, whatever it is, it will run for a while. It will be sustained also if it is built well. Yeah. But we have to see that if we are a startup, we need to work upon our personal branding. You know, when I'm launching my book, I'm not, now I'm something. Now the journey of ordinary to extraordinary, person to personality, no one to someone is coming over. Now people will relate. Okay, she is into startup mentoring and she's come out with this book, or she's parenting, or she's come out with this book. Now people will relate. But make yourself someone that people are leveraging your personal branding and seeing what is coming out of her. I want that. People should be
I'll just
curious. What's next?
I'll
Yeah.
just give you a very subtle example here, Nancy.
Ji,
Like in Tri-City, Chandigarh, and around these. So I am visiting mostly all the universities,
I
and
know, I know.
I did pretty decent. But now this time I brought Ashneer Garover and Mama Earth Ghazal Alak,
Very good friend of
and
mine.
they paid they paid these guys just for an hour for 10 lakh. And I was like, oh my God. When I talk to students, I really give them life examples and make sure that they are following up. And then there is that, always there for you guys. And I take so many efforts to bring the
I know.
difference. And when, no offense to the celebrities now, so when Ghazal comes, when Ashneer comes, we were all having lunch together. I mean, with the separately both of them, and I was like, I'm really jealous of you guys. Come on, you come here for 1 hour. You are criticizing the university. You are the students and their strategies and what their lifestyle, and still you're getting paid much more than us. So that's
Yes.
very the point you said, personal branding and the backing they get.
Very, very, very
Yeah,
rightly put. It's not about, we are not criticizing anyone, but we are telling how it happens.
it
You know,
does. Yeah, makes
of
a difference.
course. It does. And see this strategy, talking about both of them, see this strategy. It was in Mamaearth, was in all baby products. So basically, we know them very closely as both of our sons are in same school. And
Right.
journey, seen their journey from no one to someone. It is wow. What you said, I am J of you. So it happens.
She is
Because
very grounded, down to earth. I mean, she doesn't have that air about being a celebrity. She talks normally. She talks about the daily humdrums. So not at all any air about being a millionaire. Not at all.
that is wow, not
Yeah.
an air upon being, that snobbishness, and then also, money minting in your accounts. What more we want? That is, see, after all, money comes in picture, and then the most important point comes, which is profit, which is revenue. Any startup. Whether you do window dressing, whether you get a glorious investor, whether you have any celebrity endorsing your brand, ultimately matters is what's coming in. What's your working capital, how you're able to sustain yourself, which is very important. So that is what the story of entire 90% of startup is. That 3 years, 4 years running well, and then again duping down, and then when investors asking, because getting the investors right. But I always feel you should have to put your skin in business. And if you bootstrap, nothing like it, I have huge respect. If you have investors, nothing like it, that's also huge respect, but handle with care. Because we've seen in history how what has happened to the people who have relied upon the investors. To name a few, I can't, but on a particular ground. But still, I mean, we've been friends with everyone, and they've all been very contributing as mentors to our mentees pan India. But ultimately, I see the journey which started from nowhere to somewhere, but in the horde of getting to the limelight quickly. Many things people do, which is not required at all. Which is not required. It is just seeing each other and doing it. It's following the rat race. So that is what I'm telling, that we need to work over it, which is very important. And when we talk about revenue sharing here, when you talk about getting the costing, I'm telling about, we are talking about two sensible university students here, and mature individuals. I'm talking about the schools we are mentoring. I mean, the Airtel schools in Ludhiana, the Jindal schools in Mumbai, and many more. There are 13-year-old who are getting amazing funding, who are pitching so well, who getting the costing from where they're getting it. They're discussing on the dinner table all these things with their parents upon. They're launching it and they're doing it beautifully. So what I'm telling you, it's a very robust ecosystem. It is like foolproof steps upon that. Okay, how to have this startup across, how to start it across. But you need patience, you need real hard work and perseverance to check upon what is happening. Now, when I talk upon team, like co-founder, when you talk about team, thinking about a lot of collaborations, which matter a lot. Associations, whenever you launch something, the logos, who all are supporting you in the ecosystem matters a lot, because you are not just leveraging your personal branding, you are leveraging their personal branding also. When you have someone associated with you. So when I'm actually, someone is referred Miss Anuradha through us, so it is, the wall is already broken. I mean, I'll give you a very, very practical example. So we did a wonderful contribution in Save Soil by Sadhguruji. They wanted around 5,000 letters to PMO. And we did all that in some time. And in that inauguration ceremony in Vigyan Bhavan, they introduced me to some of the musicians, I can't take name, who devised a song for them. They wanted to launch music academy in all the colleges and schools. Trust me, the speed with which I launched my courses and modules, it was nothing. What I did for them in 2 months. First, there was no looking back. They already a brand upon. It was not easy to pitch them up, but the team did it. And then the second thing, who endorsed them? Sadhguru himself. So what matters is you leveraging the, again, making your network your net worth. That is what I told you. You are taking leverage of the people who are associated with you. That's a power of collaboration, which is very required if you really want to lessen the number of years in that journey. It requires to, be it referral, be it word of mouth. So that matters a lot. So I feel we need to grow our business through the network. We need to network with industry leaders, network with your net worth also. Of course, that is like your own thing, but network with good industry leaders, not just this, the domain experts, which is very required. Then elevating business in the digital world, which we all know how and which is very much, right there. So today is a time when, we need to, if we need to get funds for any company, for any corporation, though it is a very competitive process, but still, we are able to do it very well. We are able to crack it very well. And it only happens when we have someone endorsing each other, when we're someone supporting each other and telling upon it. So that matters a lot. So while we sum up on, strategies for launching a successful startup, it is not the golden rule. Do this. It's not a recipe. We are not cooking a Maggie here. Put water, put masala, and it is ready in 2 minutes. No, come out of the instant word, insta word. instant influencer. Sorry to say, but let's be impactful than being an influencer. I don't like that word now because there's so many influencers who are not doing anything and they're called influencer. So, but then again, I'm telling you the real reality. Once you are a change maker, once you are an impactful leader, money follows in. Once you are following your mission and vision, what major startup do pitfalls? The major mistakes of following startup is getting, again, first query is their funding कहाँ से आएगी, investors कहाँ से आएंगे, and after that they feel कोई फतेह खड़ी कर दी, investor मिल गए हैं तो they least bother upon their product, and then what happens is, I'm not saying duping down, चल भी जाए, but then where are we? I mean, you know, the credibility and all, missions कई अलग resolve हो जाती है, तो वो चीजें different हो जाती. So I guess there are many questions also. Of course, we'll take them one by one. So I guess I missed the point where we started. The last thing I was reading question. So where were we last is, let's not forget the real word, real us, authentic us. However we show the fictitious window dressing, our company valuation is this, our company valuation is this. We all know, I mean, we don't have to say what all has happened in the industry. But now this is the time that valuation for me at the end of the night when I am, thinking as an entrepreneur mind, why it is said that it's not important to be an entrepreneur or not, but it is very important to have that entrepreneur mindset every day and out from today, even if you've not thought any idea what you will be doing in near future, have that mindset, how to convert it up in a profitable, molds. Give yourself a deadline, not just, okay, let's do a startup. It's buzzword. It's good to say I'm a startup. No, sorry, but come out of that domain, work in that domain, do job, network with industry leaders, come to a point. If option A doesn't work, come to option B, option C. The word is there. People start amazing startups at the age of 40, 45. There's no age bar here. There's no age bar. But when you do with all your might, do with all your desire, do the fire in the belly. And when you are putting it across and giving that elevated pitch of 30 seconds, or probably if people give you chance and you're lucky for 2 minutes, they give you chance, that is also big enough. I go to so many, exhibitions where people all across abroad come from different domains. Trust me, 25 seconds. They come from, I feel petty that what are they doing? And then when we are asking them questions, when you're drilling them also, hardly they get time to prove themselves. So it's I'll not say it's a cruel word, but it's a very you need to be watchful of your actions, because you cannot fool customers. You really can't fool them. People know exactly what it is. It's an AI word where in majority of the countries, the seller is not required at the moment. You don't know. There is no something like, voice message where you can file your complaint or something like that. Nothing is available. Machine se aap thodi kuch kahoge. So at least in India, you know who is the owner, whose product it is. So we are living in the time where we need to understand its magnitude of decision that works. So we need to be very peculiar in that. So let me just see across the chat also, because of the yeah.
Yeah, plenty of time. 4 to 6.
Yeah.
So let's take questions.
How can we start personal branding and what is the starting point? Thank Pavan for a wonderful question. Now this is like the action plan. We speak a lot, we think a lot, we dream a lot. How to really start it right now? How, where, and when? Today only, sitting here, just make an action plan. I'm a person whose education is first and then, your mentor across. So I'll be like with a paper and pen and telling you, ki boss, write it. Ki whom to meet, when to meet, and how to reach them. So suppose if no one has put the domain, I would have given you a right example. So I'm just taking a fictitious example. So, your personal branding. Personal branding could be definitely trying and getting your ideology all across the social media so that people know what kind of character you are, but it's not needed. जो करना है उसी पे आओ. So, it is not something if you say I want to be good in, it's something like if you say I want to be good in fluent in English, speaking and all. Now you're not learning grammar at this age. Coming to the point. So now when you are launching a startup, when you're thinking of personal branding, you are thinking of personal branding from your product point of view. Yeah. So definitely, what matters is Googling your own self, where I am standing, where I am. You need to actually, how many of you Googled yourself?
I do that.
On social media. That's very good. That's very good. So, finding your own self where I stand. And if I don't stand in amongst 10 search or 15, I need to work upon. I'm not talking about my SEO also. I'm talking about my real work where all it is visible with my name, the
Mhm.
authenticity. That is what is required. You're going to investors, you're pitching around, you're going to good seminars, conference. When people, of course, see you up, they should see the concrete work you've done. And nothing goes off from the eyes of social media, from the eyes of digital world. It's digital footprints are like scary. So you need to see what you say on digital media, what you reflect upon it, because they directly affect your own character. You know, that is what is required. So start your personal branding. How many of you, like a raise of hand or something, have actually good letter of recommendations by now from different companies? Anyone? How many of you write your own blogs?
I do not.
Ma'am, I will let you know about myself.
Yeah,
I have 25,000 plus followers on the LinkedIn,
very good. That's amazing.
and I repost a post before 2 days, and it's the 30,000 plus reach till
Amazing.
then.
I want to follow you. And I don't have that
And
fancy following.
I write myself everyday blog,
Wow.
and my personal blog article have I think 4,500 subscriber, and every day it can be go to increase.
Very good. So happy to listen that, because now this is what you have already. You're not in starting point. You are somewhere way ahead. So when you ask upon personal branding, starting point you've covered a long way. You're already there. So LinkedIn is where the major work happens, and not just on the wall. The major works happen in the messenger. The major
Yeah.
work happen when people message you, meet you. They said business happens in 3 meets. First is just like I'm talking upon, even in your LinkedIn, people reaching you, just sharing profile. People share profile like we met. So me and
Mhm.
like Miss Anuradha met for the first time. Nothing happens. It's good vibes which is interacted. Second meet, getting to this point, getting the value addition from each other. Third will be the real work, which might we might do together. So it said three business happens in 3 coffee meets. So what you are doing is already good when you are posting on LinkedIn, when you have followers, when you have a lot of traction which is going on. That is great. But then have a lot of companies of your domain endorsed with you. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it is very important. So when I started my career with Standard Chartered Bank at the age of 21. And that time only, I already had letter of recommendations from around 25, by working in my master's and graduation, summer internships. So all these certification of appreciation matters a lot. Recommendations matters a lot. So all this happens. Then of course, the way you're saying, writing blog upon, having your website, and talking senseful, it is very much required. Not just this, being the global conference speaker upon, digitally, I mean physically, if you can be there. So very much it will be very very beneficial to begin with. So I feel amazing that you've asked over, and wishing you the best. You're doing great. So any of if I ask you personally, any of the LinkedIn interaction which really was very fruitful, and you felt it was amazing turning point for your career?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, when I start writing the blog and people come to my profile, they can read about me and they appreciate my profile. Also, people ask me about my services, what I'm doing. Uh, so there is a lot of traffic, and I think 500 plus messages I got every day.
My
Very
God.
good. Very good. That's so amazing. That's like knowing your niche. That's like being a people person. And trust me, whether you're introvert, whether you're extrovert, whether you are in back office job or you are in front dealing, this connection will pay you back. So,
Mhm.
they always know who's Pavan, and whatever Pavan will post, they'll be interested in that. So, what it is written, you being the lion of your jungle. I mean, you've command over it. There's no one else
Yeah.
who is coming in your domain. So that is definitely required upon. I'm looking forward for other questions. Just help me out here. So I guess only this. There was one more, I believe. I guess the chat. What are the few strategies you recommend for startups for being successful? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that is what we were discussing only, and that's put over. I would love to have an interaction with you and ask you upon just the name of the startup venture which inspired you in the recent future, in the recent times. Anyone? Mm, the case
Yeah.
study maybe you've read upon and you allude towards it.
Actually, I'm planning to launch a app, but still not find the good name for the app.
Okay. Yes. So
Yeah.
this is a question, or you want seeking a suggestion? What it is?
No, actually, first we can complete the app and then we can definitely give the name and
Of
then it
course.
can be launched. Yeah.
Of course.
So,
Of course. So we work with TBI, Technology Business Incubator, and like we set up TBI in every institution in every university. And trust me, many people are what you said. Many people are sailing in the same boat. It will come to the surface the name that you're shortlisting and how it will be. You know, everything will come across. So have you like shortlisted the names?
not yet,
Okay.
but
Okay.
we are really near to complete the idea. And
Achha.
there are few our product which is working very well on the market. There are few our product.
And which are?
So one is a Dynitech, completely like a Zomato in the US.
Acha.
And one is a self-drive car booking system. Uh, it's a yellow car rental in the Canada.
So whatever you
Mr.
made
San,
strategies, were you able to execute it well?
yeah,
Very good. So that's mindful marketing.
we are
That
we
is
are facing a lot of problem and few product are very fail in the beginning. But
Mm.
right now we have very confidence to launch the product and make it success.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. If given a chance, I would love to showcase your product out there because that is what happens. Once you talk upon it and once you share upon what are the pitfalls coming up, there'll be many organizations who will come up themselves to support you.
Actually,
You know?
we are completely believe on the SEO before. So when we launch the product, the if you want the PR of the product, so it can be take time to tell the people what we are doing and what product are doing right now, right? So,
Yeah.
but now how the very powerful LinkedIn. So in the same day, I can tell 20,000 people to what we are doing.
True.
So it is
Pawan, I'll help
very easy
you
to
out
reach the
there.
people. Yeah.
Pawan, I'll help you out there. Tag me. I've got 27,000 followers myself. And
Mhm.
at Punjab Angels, we always want to promote startups.
Mhm.
So I'm sure that Sahil would have similar followers so that we can reach out to more people.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
That is great. And while you do digital media promotion and all, connecting, like whatever your product is, whatever your product is, getting into the field and getting the reference
Mhm.
out, that works a lot. The probability is very high there of getting the client over, you know.
Yeah.
So you need to see and build it over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is there. It's really wonderful to see, there's so much clarity upon it, and you're working across towards your personal branding and already doing much. This is really, really good. So amazing it is. And of course, it's a performance driven culture, and people are doing well according to the work they are in. Everybody is, I'll say, coming up with new things, but if you need to be class apart, you need to believe on your product and you have to do mindful advertisement and marketing, which is very, very important. Very important. And that
Yeah.
is there. Yeah. Anyone else, any of the girls who want to ask upon or tell upon their startup journey?
Mini, Tushar, would you like to share? Both are my friends, Nancy, and both are doing wonderful in their own field.
Very
Tushar?
good.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Anuradha. And thank you, Dr. Nancy, for wonderful session. So I was driving out in the market, but I was still connected, and this
I was feeling your urge to do that, so that's really nice.
there
That's good.
were really so many inputs and ideas that I could gather through this session. And I'm into IELTS and personality development training, and yes, I found that there are a lot of things that are still yet needed to be changed and
It's
implemented into my
exact,
setup. And
exactly.
I think I would get back on the same. I have my own academy, but I think there are a lot of investments still needed to be done. There are a lot of more ideas needed to be implemented to take it to a dream that I have in my mind, or that vision in my mind. So, by implementing
Mm.
certain things that you have just shared in today's session, I think I would be a bit closer to what I want in my life for my ventures, and I would surely get back to you through this
You have
platform.
exactly. This is amazing set of interaction that you have shared with us. And trust me, the two things you're doing, eyelids and even you what you said personality. And this is really not just a required, and we're doing the same. That's why I'm telling you, it is so much. Whatever has to be done is to be endorsed in a manner that people know that you're cut from the rest. Okay. So that is what I'm telling you. There is, I mean, to get into it depends upon you whether you're into B2B mode, whether you're into B2C. It depends upon you. So while making your personal branding, you need to decide upon that according to the market, how my clientele come. And,
Mhm.
spreading the word.
Yeah. I think I was little hesitant initially to invest more money on my enterprise, but I think there is a need. There is a need. I must do that on personal branding and certain areas where I was restricting myself in today's age. It's
Yeah.
really vital in today's time to invest more. Like, I have been investing my time and energy, but yes, there is a need to invest more on reaching out to people through various sources that I have. So I need to be more investment driven there as well.
Yeah, but don't take it as a burden. Like being the investment driven, also just go in your comfort zone, do whatever you can, in because we don't have to, miss the major message that we want to do with our startup. We want to create an impact. We want to create success stories. Once you have certain success stories, trust me, it will create a multiple effect. That will
Mm,
happen.
great. Yes,
Yeah.
thank
So
you.
just
I
focus.
understand that completely.
Exactly. So amazing. Just focus upon that. That'll be amazing.
I will connect with you. Thank you so much for your
Or
ideas and
anytime
sharing.
through the network, you can, because we have so many trainers, coaches who are in different countries and who are very much required. If in India any startup cannot work and people say कि India population में कुछ अगर नहीं चल सकता तो कहीं नहीं चल सकता. So we need to actually figure out that what is working, what is not, how I need to move forward. That has to be done time and again. A self-analysis that has to be done.
And thank you, Punjab Angel Network team, because you have been doing an exceptionally brilliant job there by reaching out, by having these webinars organized or having this session organized, and so that we can have more inputs to expand our area of knowledge and invest the same. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So amazing. It's a wonderful, robust culture that you said. Gone are the times when we started, we used to, stand outside our parents' room even to discuss. We used to have goosebumps to discuss our idea, because I belong to an era when I'm not that old, but still I belong to the times when people used to say, ऐसे नहीं होता, पैसे पेड़ पे नहीं उगते. What is this? Who will believe in you? But now, empty pocket doesn't hold anyone back. Empty heart and empty head will. If you really cannot fund your idea, there's so many who are standing for you in today's world, and they make it happen. There's so many stories, but you need to have that mindset. You need to have that idea to convert it on. It is very important. And if
Yeah.
you know the right channels, right time, the way this platform is, trust me, there's no looking back. It's like thin and thick, you are working upon your project.
True.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really lovely and sheer pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Same here.
Great. Over to you, Anuradha.
So I think all in all, amazing session. I tried to capture as much as I can and I could. And I've also pointed out in the chat with you, I always say the same network. Your network is your net worth. So first you have to find out who are already there in your contact list, pitch your idea, have them as your clients, give service, and your product should speak louder than your, marketing. So, Dr. Nancy, amazing session. And I'm sure all our audience here learned from the session today. You took time in spite of your busy schedule. Thank you so much. And
Nothing,
thanks to
nothing.
all the audience here, Deepak, Pavan, Tushar, Vansh, Mini, everyone, the ones I'm missing. And thanks to my amazing Punjab Angels team who are all here to support and always there to learn. So together we'll all have these Wednesday sessions every Wednesday, 5 o'clock, and we'll bring talent like Dr. Nancy and everyone who can help us in the ecosystem, in startup ecosystem investors. Thank you so much again. Amazing time and amazing learning session.
Thank you. I believe.
Thank you everyone for your valuable time, and it's amazing. And thank you very much for sharing your
Thank
knowledge.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I must say, sir, and Miss Anuradha, that somehow there is a difference between knowledge acquisition and knowledge application. Wednesday wisdom you are giving. Knowledge is so much in today's world that it is a dumping ground of ideas. You have to check again which is authentic for you, which you can use. Every size is not fit all. That is what people are doing mistakes. कि उसका चल गया तो मेरा भी चल जाए. Nothing happens like that. So please, do good research, sit with a lot of industry experts and try time and again to apply your knowledge before educating something else. What we do is, thoda sa kuch success hua, we're all there spreading our news. Thoda sa kuch, we get that easy kickstart and we become a coach and tell people how to be a good startup. So please sustain yourself well, place yourself in market, stick to your mission. Money will follow. Money is a byproduct of your success. Just focus upon the kind of service and product you're giving and give the value much more than what you're charging. Much more than that. Only then it comes back to you many folds.
I think that is the most important learning about value. So give value and paisa to jhak mara ke piche aayega. I also always say that. So once again, Dr. Nancy, you're vibing and I can really understand what you are saying and the experience shows in your words. So happy to connect. Let's all of us stay connected. Rimpi has shared Punjab Angels credentials and social handle. Search us and let's all connect. Okay, Pawan, we are already connected. I'm happy to know. Thank you. Let's have a chat on Messenger and all of us stay connected. See you all at 5 o'clock next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much and be the new you in New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bye-bye.